Good morning, it's Dr. S. Shamim Rishwana, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry. Today we are going to see about the mechanism of polymerization. So in the last video we have seen about the free radical mechanism, just we can have a recap. So the mechanism of polymerizations, in addition polymerization, it mainly involves the types of mechanisms of free radical, cationic and anionic mechanisms. So in this we have already seen about the free radical mechanisms. So in free radical mechanism there is a initiation, propagation and termination, the 3-step process. You can have a small video on this. This is the monomer. So in this monomer we are having a 2 bond, that is a pi bond, sigma and a pi bond. In this first when the initiators comes, this 2 sigma bond starts to break and form a initiating species, and the chain length starts to grow by the propagation method. And finally the deactivation or termination process. So in this is also having a 2 types, combination and disproportionation. The first combination is thus it combines together to form a longer chain polymer. In disproportionations, it takes the hydrogen from the one of the polymeric chain and then form a saturated and unsaturated polymer. So this is the free radical mechanism. We have a recap, and then next is the ionic mechanism. In ionic mechanism we are having the cationic as well as the anionic mechanism. In cationic mechanism we will be using the carbonium ion, and whereas anionic we will be using the carbon anion mechanisms. So in this also we will be having an initiation, propagation and then termination steps. The first we see about the cationic mechanisms. So it is the faster than free radical mechanism. In this mechanism the monomer contains electron donating groups. This is very important, that is the electron donating groups will be present. So here we are going to synthesize styrene, isobutylene and isoprenes. So it involves the same 3 steps: initiation, propagation and then termination. The first initiation, it involves 2 steps: the formation of carbocation, and carbocation combines with monomer. So these 2 steps are there. So here the formation of carbocation, it is formed from the initiator or catalyst. So we are having we are using the BF3 as a catalyst as well as the stannous chloride SnCl4 and AlCl3 as the catalyst. So these are the acids initiators. These acids do not have proton and react with co-catalyst. So here the co-catalyst is the water. So AlCl3 plus H2O will gives you the H plus AlCl3 OH minus ions. So this starts to combines with the styrene compound where the double bond, and it gives the proton ions to form a chain initiating species. So this carbon will get the cations. The next is the propagation. The propagation is the chain growth polymers. So the initiating species, it reacts with only one monomer, and where in the propagation steps the multiple monomers starts to react to form a longer chain polymer or a living polymer. So in this step the initiating species combines with new monomers to form living polymer, or we can also call it as a growing chain polymer. The next is the terminations. So in this step the proton, that is a H plus ions, will be removed from the initiating species to form dead polymer, whereas in the free radical mechanisms only there will be a combination, the 2 radicals combines together to form a bond, whereas here we have to remove this H plus ions to form a macromolecules. So, when we remove this, you will be getting a double bond in the final stage. So, here we will be getting only the unsaturated polymers. So, you can have a recap. What are the three steps? Initiation, propagation, terminations. So, for all the mechanism, that is a free radical, addition. In addition, we are having a two types, that is a cationic and anionic. So, in cationic also we will be having a initiation, propagation and termination. In initiation, the the catalyst reacts with the co-catalyst and then it starts to react with the monomer to form a chain initiating species. So, this chain initiating species reacts with another monomer, a multiple types of monomers to form a growing chain polymer. So, this growing chain polymers comes from an N by removing the proton ions, that is the H plus ions, to form a unsaturated macromolecules or polymer. So, this is the cationic mechanism. Then next we will see about the anionic mechanisms. So, by studying the mechanism is very easy, that we are having only again I am repeating that we are having only the three steps, that is initiation, propagation, termination. And here we are using the electron withdrawing group. In cationic we have used the electron donors, but here we are going to use the electron withdrawing group like Cl minus and Cn minus, that is chloride and cyanide ions. So, here we are going to use the polymer as vinyl chloride, styrene and acrylonitriles. So, here also the three steps: initiation, propagation, termination. In initiation also it involves the formation of carbon ions. So, in cations, carbocations, here it is a carbon anions. So, the carbon ions combines with monomer. The formation of carbon ions, it formed from the initiators or catalyst. Here we are going to use the Lewis base like potassium ammonium KNH2 and sodium amide NaNH2. Potassium amide and sodium amide or act as initiator. This both will acting as the initiator. So, this potassium amide will give you the potassium ions and NH2 minus ions. So, this NH2 minus ions will start to react with a monomer, that is acrylonitrile, to form a chain initiating species. So, here we will be getting the minus charge. So, carbon anionic charge. So, next is the propagations. So, what is a propagation? The propagation is the chain growth polymers or formation of the living polymers. In this process, it starts to react with the different types of monomers. So, here it starts to react with the another monomers. If you are going to use the copolymerization, it starts to react with different types of monomers. So, you will be forming a growing chain polymer. The last is the terminations. So, termination we have to remove the NH2 group as a NH3. So, we will be adding another ammonia group to remove it. So, in these steps the living polymer combines with the base ammonia to form a dead polymer. So, this is the dead polymer we are getting, and here this NH2 group will be present in the compound itself. So, the H plus ions will be gained from the another ammonia group to form a saturated polymers. So, in cationic mechanism we will be getting the unsaturated, in free radical mechanism we will be getting the saturated and unsaturated, whereas in the anionic mechanism we will be getting the saturated polymer. So, just a small recap of the anionic mechanism. Here also we will be having an initiation, propagation and termination. Initiation is the formation of the monomers or chain initiating species. The monomers forms a chain initiating species, and then in propagation steps we will be having the growing chain polymer. Here it starts to combine with the different monomers or different types of monomers or all the same monomers. And the termination, here it starts to react with the, we will be adding the ammonia to form a saturated polymer. Thank you.